Hello, my name is Li Jie, and then good morning, good afternoon, and good night to my beloved audience. Today, the speech of my topic is Go ahead, dream about your future. Our world is changing so fast, and there is a kind of accelerating feedback loop where technology change and social change fit on each other. When I was a kid in 1980s, we knew that what the future was going to look like. It was going to be the some version of Back to the Future or Star Trek. It was going to be neon megacities and flying vehicles. But now, nobody knows what the world is going to look like, even in just a couple years. And there are so many scary apparitions lurking on the horizon. From the climate catastrophe to authoritarianism, everybody is obsessed with the apocalypse, even though the world ends all the time and we keep going on. We must not afraid to think about the future, to dream about the future, and to write about the future. I have found it really liberating and fun to do that. It is the way of vaccinating yourself against the worst possible case of future shock. It is also a source of empowerment. This is because you cannot prepare for something that you haven't already visualized. But there is something you need to know. You don't predict the future, but you think the future. People are really hungry for the vision of the future that are both colorful and live in. And this is where science fiction writer can fit the needs where they offer intense. Futuristic story that use the mixture of active dreaming and awareness of cutting-edge trends in the science and technology, and also insight into human history. And at this point, it's helpful to know a couple of terms that science fiction writers use all of the time: future history and second-order effects. Now, future history is basically just what it sounds like. It is a chronology of things that not yet happened yet, like Robert A. Helen Hayes' famous story cycle, which with a detailed chart of upcoming events going up into the year 2100. Meanwhile, the second order effects is a kind of the things that happens after the consequence of a new technology or the huge change. There is a saying often attributed to the writer and editor Frederick Pohl that a good science fiction story should predict not just the invention of the automobile but also the traffic jam. And speak of traffic jam, I spent a lot of time trying to picture the city of the future. What it is like? What is made of? Who is this for? I try to picture a green city with vertical farms and structures that are partially grown rather than built, and walkway instead of street, because nobody gets around by car anymore. The city that live and breathe. And I kind of start by daydreaming the wilderness stuff that I can possibly come with it. I imagine what kind of new community will we have, what kinds of new crimes that we haven't even thought of it yet. And then there is social media. I always hear from them is that the smaller AI gets, the better it's in making the connection. So maybe the social media in the future will be better. Maybe it will help us to form healthier and less destructive relationships. Maybe we will have the device that enable togetherness and serendipity. I really hope so. And finally, there is medicine. I think a lot about how development in genetic medicine could improve the outcome for people with cancer and dementia. And maybe one day, your 100th birthday will be just another milestone on the way to another 2 or 3 decades of healthy, active life. And finally, basically, I'm here to tell you, people talk about the future as thought is either going to be a technological wonderland or some kind of apocalyptic pop barbecue. But the truth is, it is not going to be either of those things. It is going to be in the middle. It is going to be both. It is going to be everything. The one thing we do know that is the future is going to be incredibly wide. Just think about how wide is the 21st century would appear to someone from the early 20th century. We can appreciate that the future is going to be much wider than we could possibly dream of. But we can try. I know that there are going to be scary things. But there is also going to be wonder and saving grace. And the first step to finding your ways forward is to let your imagination run free. That's all. Thank you.